In this video we will talk about file server. Now, why we need the file server? For example, if you have a company, you can imagine you have thousands of computers and thousands of employees in your company. Those employees using the Excel, for example, in the company work with the Excel file and should make an Excel file or work with the Excel file and then save the Excel file in the computer, in the My Document, for example, and those or in the local computer. The first thing, it is very difficult to control those files. I have 1000 computer and in every computer there is many of the copy of the Excel file. I can never control the security for those files. And in the company, the administrator should make a backup to the files and folder in the computer. So the administrator should go to every computer, every client, those 1000 client, and for every client, for every computer, he should make a backup or take a backup from this computer. This is very difficult or maybe almost impossible. So instead of the user save or store their files, their Excel files inside those computer locally, just the administrator create files and folders in the server, and the employee can access from the network those files. If they want to store a file or save a file, just save a file in the server, not in the local computer. So the security, I can easily implement a security, implement a permission for this file. And also, if the administrator want to make a backup just from central store or just central storage, I just make a backup. The administrator just make a backup in the server just one time from the server. Now here in the server, we can go to the drive C, for example, or we can just make a folder in the desktop in the server. Now I am in the server, just pay attention, I am in the server. In the server, in the desktop, for example, I can create a new folder. Now here in the desktop and the server, just a new and folder. For example, this folder for HR. I can name it just HR. Now if I go to the Windows 7, I want to access this folder in the server from the client, from Windows 7. Just go to the Windows 7, Control Alt Insert. I have user Osama. So as you know, Osama is connect with the server and Osama is a member in the domain controller. Now this file HR, I want to make it shareable. I want to share this file in the network. So just right click on the folder, right click and the properties. After that, sharing and advanced sharing. Just here, share this folder. Click on it and OK. Now this folder is shareable. Just go to in the client now. I am in the client in the Windows 7. Go to my computer. I want to access this folder from the client. Now I have a drive C here. A drive C is like a folder or a storage locally inside the client. Now I want to access the folder here from the client I want to access this folder HR from the client. So here I just go to the map network drive, and here you can see example. You should just add // and the name of the server or the domain lab.com and then / again and the share folder, the share folder name HR. I make it shareable, so just add the name HR and enter. Now I cannot access, you can see now HR, I have a drive HR. Double click on it, but it's not accessible. I cannot access this folder. Why? Because I have permission. I have a server or domain called lab.com and inside it I have a folder or shared folder called HR. Like this. Now from the client, this is client Usama here, access the server or the folder in the server. Before that I have two filter, NTFS permission or security, and the second one sharing permission. NTFS and shared permission. I have two types of permission, NTFS and sharing permission. So Osama, if you want to make or to access this folder here, should pass the sharing permission and then the NTFS permission. After that can access the file. Now the shared permission is a permission like read, write or whatever. This permission implement for the computers or for the client or for the user, those come from the network. Like Osama here. Osama not locally inside the server, but Osama come from the network or access the file from the another computer from the network. So implement sharing permission. Also NTFS permission. NTFS that mean new technology file system. NTFS permission implement to the user those locally locally inside the server or inside the computer. But now Osama want to access the HR. So the first thing Osama should go to the sharing permission, will implement the shared permission with the Osama. After that, after Osama log into the server or after Osama access the server inside the server, also the NTFS permission will implement to the Osama. So now we have shared permission and NTFS permission. If you want to access the folder, should be passed the shared permission and NTFS permission. NTFS permission locally, NTFS permission just implement to the user inside the server, the local user, and shared permission implement to the users just come from the network. Now here in the server or in the server, I want to make the permission or not to give. Now Osama here not have a permission to access the folder, so I cannot access it because I don't have a permission. Go to the file, right click, properties. Here sharing, that means the shared permission. If I want to implement the shared permission from sharing here, you can see like this here, shared permission. If I want to implement the NTFS permission from security, call here security for NTFS permission. So just pay attention. If you want to implement the shared permission or apply the shared permission from here. If you want to apply the NTFS permission from security. Now in the shared permission, on the shared folder, just advanced sharing, and you can see here permission. Now you can see I grant the permission to everyone to using the server just to read. Read that means just can open the file. Now I can delete this or I can delete this, yes, and add. I have Osama now. In the client I have Osama. Osama is a member in the domain controller, right? So just type Osama. If you just forget the name, for example, just OS and check name. Now you can see Osama. Osama at lab.com. That means Osama is a member of the domain. Now, okay. Now I have Osama and I want to get the permission to Osama as just to read. Read. I mean what I mean by read? That means Osama can open the folder, open the file, but cannot create a new file, cannot delete the file, cannot rename the file, or even cannot save the file or change the file. Now Osama should have a permission to open the folder. Just apply and okay. Now go to the Osama, refresh. Until now Osama cannot access the folder. Why? Because as I said before, we have shared permission and NTFS permission. In the shared permission, I give him the read permission, right? But in the NTFS permission, I don't give Osama any permission. No NTFS permission. So Osama or Osama pass the shared permission with read and come here and stop, because here there is no permission in the NTFS locally. So now go to the NTFS permission also. Okay, go to the NTFS permission in the security as I said and edit. I can see now there is no Osama, just system and administrator. I want to add Osama. Same thing, Osama. Check name, Osama here and okay. Now I want to add Osama or give the Osama permission. Now see here, Osama has a permission to read and list folder content and read and execute. Read and execute, that mean can read the file and folder, just open it, or execute, I mean run the executable file like .exe for example, or .bat. Those executable file, those file able to run, I can open this file also. And list folder content, that means just open the folders and see the content inside the folder. And read, that means same thing, just can read the file and folder. Now just okay, apply and okay. Now go again to the Osama. Now Osama, in the shared permission I have a read. In the NTFS permission also I have read and execute and so on. But also cannot write, just can read. Can read and open file or open executable file and so on. Now Osama should have ability to access this folder, because in the shared permission I have read and in the NTFS permission I have read. Now try, go to the Osama, to the client, refresh. Now after refresh you can see I can access this folder. But if I want to make a folder or file inside it, I cannot. You need permission to perform this action. Now if I make it if I give a permission here for example, you can see here, I can add the permission now for the shared. In the shared permission I can give him a modify permission or write permission to have ability to change or to add a new file or delete or rename and so on. Just go, I want to go work with the sharing file, properties, sharing, advanced sharing, permission. Now I want to add change. Change, that means can create a new file, can delete a file, can do everything except change the permission. If you add just full control, that means also the user have ability or responsible for or have ability to change the permission for the file. Apply and okay and okay. Now the user in the shared have read permission and change permission, but still in the NTFS just have read. So which one will implement now? Just make it like a rule here. The most restrictive one will implement. If you make the shared permission and NTFS permission a different, for example here change and here just read, for example shared change like this and the NTFS just read, the most restrictive one will implement. Most restrictive one, I mean that that permission that restrict the user. For example here, which one is more restrict for the user, change or read? Of course read. Read can restrict the user. The user just can read, just open the file, cannot create a new file. But for the sharing here, with the shared permission, have a change, that means can create a new file, can delete and so on. So the most restrictive one will implement, I mean the lower one will implement, the read will implement. If you have here read change and here read, the read will implement. If I have here change or full permission and in the sharing I have change, which one will implement? Of course the most restrictive, the change, right? For that now Osama have a permission to change in the shared permission, but with the NTFS permission here, another filter, we have just read. So Osama can just read now. Now if I try again, Osama can have a permission to access the folder here. or the file folder here, hr, double click. But if I want to create a new file, just make refresh, and I want to create a new, also I cannot. Even if I make it in the shared permission, have a change permission, I give him a change permission, but also Osama cannot access, cannot create a new folder. So if I want to create a new folder, just go also to the security and edit and Osama, and also give him a modify permission or write permission. Modify, that means also can create a new file, can delete, and so on. And apply and OK. Now Osama in the shared have change permission, and in the NTFS have modify. Modify same as the change. That means can create a new folder, can delete, and so on. So now Osama can create folder, can create a new folder, can rename, can do everything, because in the both shared permission and NTFS permission I have modify and change permission. Now again go to the Osama and try again, refresh, and now a new folder. Now I can create a folder, I can change the name of the folder, for example OS. I can delete the folder or create file. Now I can delete it. Yes. I can create a file, change the file, save a file, and so on. I can do everything here because I have permission with both. Now also it is almost impossible, or it is very difficult to make a permission for every user. You can imagine in the company we have thousands of users or hundreds of users. It is difficult to make a permission or to give a permission, security permission and sharing permission for every user. For that we have in the domain controller, we have a group. You can implement the permission for the group. Now just go to the sharing to the Active Directory or domain controller, as we said before, from tools and Active Directory users and computers. Here for example in the HR, I just create another user, a new user, for example Ali, and username Ali. Here I can make just 1 2 3. Here also 1 2 3, and next and finish. Now I create Ali. In unit I can create another group now, just a new and a group. A group can make it for example manager, like managers, and OK, let this as default. Now this group, if I double click on the group and go to the members, I can see nothing here. Now I want to make Ali and Osama a member of this group. Just add Osama, check name, and I can add comma, or sorry, the semicolon, and Ali. Check the name, Ali and Osama, and OK. Now the members Ali and Osama. Now Ali and Osama, members of this group. Apply, OK. Now if you want to implement the group policy, I can make a group policy for the group now. I have a group. In the group I have Osama and I have Ali. Maybe you have hundred of users. Now this is a group manager. Now I can implement this for a group or permission for a group. Just go again to the folder, right click, properties, sharing, permission. Now I want to delete or remove Osama and add the group manager. Just add here manager, check name, you can see managers, and I can give him permission a change, apply, and OK. And also for the security I want to remove Osama, edit, and remove Osama, and then add manager, and OK, and give him a modify permission. OK and OK. Now Osama, I didn't give a permission to Osama to do anything because I removed Osama. But Osama is a member of the group, so Osama also can modify or do everything. You should just from here, just because I implement to the group, just restart the client. If you want to make it work, you should restart the client. Now Osama and Ahmad have a permission to modify or to change the file, or have a permission to work with this folder. Now I can log in as Ahmad, for example, not Osama, or sorry, Ali, because Ali and Osama is a member of the group manager. 1 2 3. Now go to the computer and map, because this is Ali. Ali is a new user, so I will create from beginning. Lab.com and HR and finish. Now you can see I can insert, I can create a new folder and file as Ali. If you just check here, Ali not exist in the permission. If you check in the sharing permission, there is no Ali, but there is manager. Inside manager we have Ali. Manager is a group. Also in the security have just manager. So I implement the permission for the group now. Also you can see here we have deny. What I mean by deny? In the sharing and the security permission, you can see we have something called deny. Deny, I mean by deny that mean I want to remove the permission from user to do something. Then what's the difference between the deny and, for example, if I just unselect or uncheck the change, for example? What's the difference between this and click deny here? Osama and Ali is a member of the manager group and have a permission to read and change for shared and the NTFS in the HR folder, right? And also, for example, I have another folder called, in this folder also Osama and Ali, or the manager group, have a permission to read and change the folder. But now I need Ali just have ability. I need Ali still a member in the manager group, but I want to deny Ali to using the IT folder. Now the group, now Ali is a member in the group, in the manager group, and every member in this group, in the manager's group, have ability to read and change the both HR folder and IT folder. But now I need to remove the permission from Ali to work with the HR. Stay Ali would have a permission to the HR, but remove the permission from IT. I cannot do that because Ali is a member of the group. So I just go to the Ali, just Ali, not go all the group. Go just to Ali. Just add Ali here. Okay, and give him deny permission on this, for example, on this folder, any folder that I want, and apply, and OK. Now Ali is a member of the managers, and Ali can access the HR, for example, but cannot access the IT, and Osama can access the IT, but just Ali cannot access. So because the deny is override any other permission. I mean, if the group have a full permission and just member of the group have a deny for something, deny will implement, because deny is the more restrictive. Thank you very much.